Hello, guys, welcome back to my world of Instagram conversations. How is everyone? Like always, I am back with another guest with another topic to discuss, and I'm looking forward to my conversation with my friend. Let me just connect and we will take it from there. Alrighty. Let me bring in. There we go. Okay, just connecting. How is everyone? How's the day going so far for everybody? Guys, just give me a second. This one is just not setting up. There. Seems like it's. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes it takes time to kind of adjust it. And we are ready and we are all set. Just give me a second. We'll bring in our guest and we'll start our conversation. How's everyone? Alrighty. Okay. Just connecting and we'll take it from there. Guys, like you saw on my post, I've started sorry guys, I have started my workout, and I've challenged myself to lose all my weight and go back to my pre-weight, which was years ago when I was in my teens. uh, the reason I shared my post was because I wanted to make sure that I stay motivated and I stay committed to my promise. Putting it out there just kind of makes you more responsible that so many people are looking forward to your challenge. So that is why I am there. Support me, and let's see how far I can go in that. I'm so bad at that. Without any further delay, let's bring in our guest and start our conversation. And I'm just connecting with him, and we will take it from there. Hello there. Um, it's moving a lot, and I can't hear you.
Okay, let's see. How
I
about
can
now?
hear you though now.
You can hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, much better.
All right, cool.
Yes, I can see ya.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's dive into our conversation. I want you to give a little introduction about yourself, and we'll start talking from there on.
Okay, so a little introduction about myself. I'm Derwayne McPherson. I'm a lifestyle coach. What is a lifestyle coach? Generally, I help people overcome obstacles. It could be a mental obstacle, it could be an emotional obstacle, it could be a physical obstacle. Help people sort of um, with their vision, their dreams, and their goals. How do I do that? Is a lot of times it's just through conversation, through reasoning, through helping people see it a different type of perspective. I've been doing this now for most of my life, but professionally, probably the last 6 or 8 months.
Oh, okay. Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about that. What do you do? Like, if I were to come forward, so you would deal with anything, any problem that I had, you would help me navigate through that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I help you navigate towards whatever your goal is or whatever the outcome that you're looking for.
And how does it work? Is it like a mindset kind of thing, or
Yes. Generally, I've found that all the issues or challenges or obstacles that we face, it starts from your mindset. It starts from your attitude, how you behave, how you interpret things. So it's not just through your physical actions, but through your emotional and psychological actions as well. Most importantly, to be honest. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
So when someone comes to me and said, my problem, for example, my problem is that I can't lose weight because I think it's my genetics that's off, or yeah, okay, so my genetics is off, or my body just doesn't adapt to this food. Okay, physically that's what you're seeing, but mentally, are you following a program? Are you consistent with that program? Do you
Mm,
understand your body type? Do you understand the process that you might need to go through? Have you had a trainer? Have you had a coach? Have you done enough research? This type of things. A lot of people are quick to jump in, or some people don't jump because they just don't know how. They don't know where they're going. They don't know what to do. So, as I
mm,
said, it's more about giving people a chance of different perspectives.
I hear you. Like you said, so here's me. I struggle with losing weight,
Yeah.
and that is because I have a sweet tooth, and
Uh
and
huh.
and I can't stop myself from not having something sweet every day.
Right.
So so I put this thing in my head that it's just here
Yeah.
and I can overcome it. So I'm not going to have anything sweet. And it
Yeah.
does work, but max it works for 3 days. And then I'm like, okay, I can't do this. I need that chocolate bar.
Yeah. I get you. I get you.
So I think for me it's more like not being that motivated, because I can see that if you're truly motivated
Yeah.
and focused on something, you can achieve it. It's not like you can't achieve it, it's just that you put yourself on it. And like you said, do I have enough knowledge on it? It's just like you said, we just dive in there, but we don't have much knowledge on what outcomes we really are looking for. And that's
Yeah.
why we fall halfway through and we move backwards.
That's right. That's right. Just quickly before that,
Yeah,
Abiki,
yeah.
we're talking about lifestyle coaching, how basically a little bit more about me and what I do. So for all of those that tune in late, we're just introducing you to me and potentially how I can help you along with how do you say your name, Merish?
Yes, you said that right.
Yes. Um, how we can basically support you, help you, guide you, that kind of thing. So yeah, as you were saying earlier, yeah, the consistency and longevity. I have a massive sweet tooth, huge sweet tooth.
Okay.
Do I have treats every day? Yes, I do. Am I on a crazy diet? No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
How do I manage to maintain my figure? I find a balance. I'll say to myself, okay, I'll have one treat per day, but I've got to make sure, in order for me to have that treat, I got to have X amount of proper food or quality foods, X, Y, Z, right? So I set
Okay.
myself small and achievable tasks or challenges. You know,
Interesting. Okay.
one of the things that most people do as well is that you got to be able to tell your mood, right? So
Mm.
there's some times where I really do not want to train. I do not want to get up in the morning, or I do not want to do this. And I say to myself, okay, the fact that I don't want to do it, I'm going to be stubborn and I'm going to do it,
Mm.
right? Because our
Mm.
number one challenge, our number one critique is ourselves.
Mm.
So you have to find a way to have friendly competition with yourself. Okay, I don't want to do it, but when I do it, I know I'm going to feel good. I'm not going to stop until I feel better about this task, this thing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So you
Yeah.
have to find a way of engaging with yourself in friendly competition in order
Mm.
to move forward.
Mm. Right, right. And that makes so much sense, because I don't know if you saw my post earlier, and I was just talking about it before you joined in, is that I struggle from losing weight. So what do I
Mm.
do? And that's what I woke up this morning. It's like, okay, I've been working out for a couple of days. How I'm going to be consistent? I'm going to put it out there. When I put it out there, maybe it will keep me on check. That so many people out there now are waiting to see my weight loss journey so I would be more consistent. I thought that was the
Right.
way to motivate myself.
That's
And
one way.
yeah, but like you said, I don't believe in any diet plans. They're BS because after you're done with the diet plan, you go on overeating. So I don't do that. One of the things that's resonated with me is doing the intermittent diet.
Okay.
So I'm doing the 15 hour. So I stop at
Wow.
8 p.m. and then I don't eat the next day till 12 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's
That's
working for
incredible.
me. Thank you.
Mm.
So that's working for me, and um, I'm keeping a control over what I'm eating also,
Hmm.
making sure that the portions that I'm taking are more selective.
Hmm.
But definitely not dieting, and definitely watching that when I watch something sweet, how
Mm.
can I reduce the quantity of it and still,
Yeah.
still have it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to treat yourself. If you start restricting too much or you start neglecting too much, you're gonna have a relapse and you're gonna crave those that you want to eat. So I
Mm,
always say, just try to find a balance. Compliment yourself with, I'm gonna have this because I know this good.
mm,
The intermittent fasting that works for some, doesn't work for everyone because again, it's challenging. It depends on your lifestyle, depends on how you treat food, what's your relationship with food.
mm.
So if that's what works, it's perfect. It's all about finding what works for you and then working in coordination with that.
And somebody's asking, what do you think about the egg diet?
The egg diet. I haven't actually heard about the egg diet
Me
before.
too.
What
Oh,
what what
yeah.
is what does that consist of?
Only eggs?
Yeah, we just eating eggs and just getting the proteins in.
That's too many eggs if you're eating eggs the whole day. I remember my brother many, many years ago, he was doing this protein diet and he was having, I don't know, 8 eggs or something for breakfast, like 8 boiled
Okay.
eggs. Or I was like, oh my goodness.
I mean, I do that from time to time. I do that from time to
Okay.
time. I'll have 8 eggs, 10 eggs.
Ooh.
Most of the time, maybe just one yolk, just for flavor. But a lot of people see me and they think, "Oh, you're a bodybuilder, so you eat a certain way." No, I just like to eat, and I have a certain. I've done training for so long. I've competed professionally. I've done a lot of things where I know my body. I know what my body likes, um, and I know how to satisfy my cravings and my needs to get the result that I'm looking for. So.
Mm,
For me, over time, it's become easier to understand how to get the results. But for some people, it is a trial. It is trying different things, many different
mm,
ways, many different time periods to see what works. It could take a year for you to figure out what works for your body. But as soon as you
mm,
figure it out, like that, within 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you can have a complete makeover,
mm,
physical makeover.
mm.
Yeah.
So tell
So
me,
these are, yeah.
sorry to cut you. Please go on.
No, I was gonna say these are pretty much conversations I would have with a client that is more focused on having that physical change, that physical transformation type of thing.
What's your take on people who do body shaming?
Body shaming.
Yeah.
I mean, people that do body shaming is people that are ashamed themselves. That's how I
Mm,
see it. I believe if you're comfortable and confident within your body, when you look at someone else, you shouldn't see their fault or their disability. You should
mm,
see, oh, this person probably has work to do. You should probably think to yourself, if I was this person's friend or family, how could I help them achieve their goal if they want to? Because not everyone has a problem with what some people may see as a problem.
mm.
Um, but generally, people that do body shaming definitely or ashamed of their own body. That's what I believe, and I think they really gotta look at themselves and say, okay, if I can fix me, then maybe fix what you're seeing when you're looking outside.
That makes sense because you see, I got a lot of body shaming by people telling me that look at your weight, you gotta lose weight, nobody's gonna look at you, nobody's gonna want you.
Yeah,
Do it for yourself, it'll make you
yeah,
happy. And I was like, hey, first of all, I'm happy with this.
yeah,
When I look in the mirror, I don't feel like, oh, I have to be a certain way for people to like me. They're gonna like me for who I am. and this is the package they get. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And the more people came to me saying that I needed to lose weight, the more I gained weight in
Right.
just anger and frustration.
Yeah.
And when the message was across, like, okay, she is fine, and
Mhm.
people backed off, is the time where I actually started to see that no, I miss my old self and I want to see myself that way. So
Yeah.
okay, let's try for it. Let's see where it takes me. And if I'm
Yeah.
happy, well and good, why not? Of
Yeah.
course, you have to take care of your health and keeping all those things in mind. But
Yeah.
I think, like you said, for everybody is different. And
Yeah.
I just think that body shaming has such a negative impact on people that the ones who are doing it are not really realizing that what they're saying has such a strong impact on the person who's listening to you. So it's
Yeah.
something that doesn't resonate with me. And I'll tell you, I used to do that myself many
Yeah.
years ago. And that was the only topic I would talk about, because I had the perfect body, so I would just body shame everybody. And then
Right.
I learned through the process that that's something that one shouldn't be doing. So tell me, if somebody let's talk about weight again. If somebody wants to lose weight, but their emotional state, they're suffering through a trauma, they're suffering through something, what what how would you help them, or how would you help them navigate through that to get to the kind of weight or the kind of image they're wanting?
Okay. So if someone wants to lose weight, but you're going through some sort of mental trauma, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
stress alone bears a lot of pressure in the body. But just being stressed or being highly stressed, it makes your body lazy, lethargic. It makes your body release um, a mass amount of hormones. It makes your body want to lay dormant. It puts your body in a position where it wants to be active, it wants to be alive. So the idea, what I would do, especially when I deal with clients which suffer from depression, is I don't focus on the training. I focus on the pleasure you can get from the activity. So when you're getting pleasure from the exercise that you're doing, then you start to smile more, you start to enjoy it more. Those endorphins, those hormones start to become less. Your body is more awake and alive. So
Mm-hmm.
then I push them in that direction. We try to stick with things that they will enjoy. Therefore,
Mm-hmm.
it's that pleasure, that what's the word I'm looking for?
Pain to
Uh,
pleasure.
I'll find the word. Yeah, but it's just pleasure at the end of the day, and it helps. It supports the activity and it supports the exercise. So that's how I'll do it. And it's just talking as well as communication. People want to hear
Mm-hmm.
when someone suffers from depression, or as they call it, medical depression. It's a very tough thing, very intense, and sometimes there's no logic to the way that they feel. Someone really hates themselves, like they're just not supposed to be in this world. The world would be better off without them. It's not easy to explain to that person why they need you, even when you talk about family, friends, things like that. It's about them feeling like it's finding purpose. So helping my clients realize that there is a purpose for them being, a purpose for them wanting to improve their body, wanting to improve their health, wanting to improve their lifestyle. So I go right to here. And when you attack here, you will have more of a conversation in your emotions and your mind. And then once your
Mm-hmm.
emotions and your mind starts to speak the same language, your body will act it out.
That's so beautiful, and I totally agree with you on that. That it's all over here. But like you said, do you when you deal with your clients, is there a specific kind of workout program, or they could just do anything they like? Like if I were to come to you and I said, "Oh, I like dancing," would you say, "Okay, let's use that as your exercise tool," or do you have your own things?
No, that would definitely be a foundation. Stick with what you
Okay.
enjoy. Let's turn
Okay.
what you enjoy into something more, and
Mm-hmm.
then let's start adding things to it. to start adding little things to it, little things that you never tried before or you did try before. And it's just, the more you can add to it, the more of an exercise becomes, the more of a fun, long-term activity that
Right, right.
and
Have you
that's it to be better. Yeah.
have you ever had a client where you were not satisfied with them at the end of the program?
Um, Honestly, I don't wait till the end of the program.
Okay.
Um, if I feel like this client is not giving me what they need, not what I need. If they're not giving me what they need to get the outcome they're looking for, I'm straight up with it, and I'll tell them, look, we sit down, we have a meeting, and I say, here's how I feel, here's where you are, let's
Mm,
discuss it. I try to get them to see what they are doing or what they're not doing, and get them to realize where they are. But I personally don't believe um, in the passion alone. So I mean, someone could be paying, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna put up with the bullshit. That simple,
mm,
you
mm,
know. Because there's a reputation, there's a passion. If someone is
mm.
not delivering their promise to me, then I don't see the point of us moving forward. When you are ready for your transition, your transformation, then yeah, let's go ahead.
And when you snap at them at that point, do they awaken and put themselves together, or they say, okay, bye bye, you go your way, I go my way?
Um, in my experience so far, I've had I've had people that's cried. They had to let it out when the truth comes out that what you're doing is not. It's not going to take you anywhere. For me, I
Mm-hmm.
believe if you want to achieve something, you need the truth. You need to hear the truth. You need to see and feel the reality. So I say it as it is. So some people has cried and then turn around. Thank you so much for your honesty. Okay, I'm ready to work. Some people are surprised that I'm like, listen, if you don't want to work, then you're not supposed to be here. That shock alone kicks them into gear.
Mm,
Like some songs, I don't think we're good together. I think maybe either you're not ready or you might need another coach. So I'm
mm.
straightforward with that. And I've had to send some people away.
No, wow, tough calls, huh?
That's it has to be that way.
Yeah, yeah. I totally understand and can relate to that. So let's talk a little about, have you ever come across women, especially because my platform is for women, who've come to you and who've suffered through some kind of toxic relationship or verbal abuse, and how you help them or navigated them through those emotions or those traumas?
Yeah. Honestly, most of my clientele are women. It's always been that way.
Okay.
Um, yeah, we're talking divorce, we're talking cheating, we're talking physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. Yeah. How do I help them? I believe
Hmm.
I never tell my clients what to do. I give
Okay.
them insight and let them decide. So, okay, they might be going through a very abusive relationship. I don't tell them, look, what are you doing? You're stupid. Leave. No, they
Hmm.
need to see. They need to feel. They need to understand that this is not right for me. My
Hmm.
value, my worth is much more than I'm getting right now. I think the best thing for me to do is to separate myself or leave or have that conversation um, or just reposition myself. So I try to help my clients to find their value, find their purpose, find the direction that's best for them,
Hmm.
acknowledge acknowledge the present, and acknowledge what they want their future to look like going forward.
Ah, right, right, right. Have you ever had a client who's come forward to you and said, "This is my marriage, and it's a toxic marriage, but help me to stay. Give me tools that will make me stay and navigate in that relationship, that toxic relationship."
Um, Help me stay. No, I haven't come across anything like that. But if I did come across someone that's going through a toxic relationship that I believe is not right for them, Um, Again, it's all about communication. It's all about them seeing reasoning. If I honestly don't feel like I can help or support this person, then I would have to take myself back. Because if she or he is coming to me to help them find a better reason to stay in a toxic relationship, I am enabling the abuser, and I'm
Mm.
enabling the abusee to endure what I know is not morally or ethically right.
Mm.
Yeah, so I would I would have to see what the situation is like, if I can support or not, and then I'll have to advise what's best.
That's so thought provoking because I've never thought it that way. Because I see women approach me all the time and they're like, "Oh, please don't tell me to leave. We can't leave because we're in love or we have ABC reasons. Tell us how we're going to navigate while staying in this relationship." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I give them a lot of homework. And they do get to a point where they actually come back and say, "Okay, yeah, you're right. I need to leave, but I'm not ready yet."
Yeah,
And we're back in that cycle. So
yeah,
I think I have to keep on pushing the pain points where they keep on visiting that cycle and then probably come to a point where they can break it. But that's a really good advice where, yes, one should think that if we're helping them, we are actually helping the abuser.
yeah,
And we are encouraging the abuse to be carried on. So, women here, listen carefully.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
this is important because seriously, I never thought that way. Because my thing is that I just want the person to find the peace. So if they cannot, if they don't have the courage to leave, or if they're saying they don't want to leave, then I don't want them to die there. So how they're going to challenge themselves in that toxic relationship, um, to carry on. One thing I wouldn't even go in is where it's physical, because that's something that I cannot, that's something I wouldn't want to deal with. So if somebody's wanting to stay in a physically abusive relationship is somewhere where I would draw the line and say, "Oh, I cannot encourage you to stay in that or
Yeah.
help you navigate through that," because that's really a tough call. But as far as I think emotional or verbal abuse is concerned, I think that if I even get the slightest hint that they can identify it's wrong, and I keep on pinching on their pain points, I think eventually it might be a long process, but I might just get them to where they say, "Okay, yeah, okay, fine. I need to, uh, walk away now because it's not serving
Yeah,
me. It's not
yeah.
giving me my purpose."
I
Uh,
mean, yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say you gotta look at as well if someone is coming to you and saying my husband or my wife abuses me,
Hmm.
I need you to help me find a reason to stay. That means that person is already on their way through the door, but they want you to give them a reason to stay. So now they're paying you money and they're saying, tell me why I should stay while this person is abusing me. Um, how can you do your job that way? Because your job is to save them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to save them by telling them to stay, are you actually saving
No,
them?
no, 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 no. I'm not saying that I'm telling them to stay. I'm telling
No,
them
no.
to. Oh,
I
okay,
wasn't
sorry.
saying that's what you were doing. I
Okay,
was saying that's
okay,
what
okay, okay.
I was just saying, if 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 that's the situation where someone is being abused and they come to you and they say, "I'm being abused, but I love this person too much. I want to stay," then the question should be, then why are you here? What exactly do you want me to do? Because if I encourage you to stay, then I'm not actually helping you at all. I'm not actually helping your relationship.
Mm,
So realistically, I should be encouraging you to leave.
mm,
How would you handle that situation?
mm. Right, right. I
How
think
would you?
I think that if somebody's already approaching you, already knows the half truth.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's why they're
Yeah.
approaching you. Otherwise they
Right.
won't be. They'll just silently be just going on with that. When they approach you and say that to you, is that they are scared to step into the unknown. So
Okay.
so what I feel is that they're more familiar with the abuse, and that's something they've learned to live with. So it seems
Mm-hmm.
as that's the easier way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they
That's right.
have they have their moments when it gets frustrating for them, and that's why they're asking, just tell me how what do I do in those moments.
Mm.
the
Okay.
the real the real trick would be for me in that situation is to really grasp on their pain point and
Yeah.
make sure that I push them enough to see their reality and say, listen, you came forward, you came here, you already knew the answer, but you didn't want to say that. So here's the answer. You want to leave.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're just finding an excuse where maybe somebody would tell you, no, it's okay, you want to stay, fine, I'll tell you to do this, make boundaries, do this,
Mm-hmm.
and but you don't want to hear that. One side of you wants to hear that, the other side doesn't want you to hear that.
Yeah.
And then take them from there, because I don't think so I would ever want somebody to. And I've had women, like I said, I never encourage them to stay. I always tell them to journal it and see and write.
Yeah.
And I tell them, if I were to come to you and say the same thing to you, and out of, even if as a stranger, would you want me to stay there? And their
Yeah. That's
answer is
right.
no.
Yeah.
So when they say no, then I say, why do you expect me to think any different than that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you want
Definitely.
me to have a better life, but you don't want a better life for yourself. That's what you're trying to
Yeah.
say.
That's it.
So,
Because a lot
so
of people find it so easy. Sorry, forgive
no,
me.
no, no. Go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
I was going to say a lot of people do find it easy giving instructions or giving advice, but it's so difficult to when you're in the position to see that position when you're
It
standing
is.
in that place. So yeah, it's nice that you can redirect the vision,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then have them, you know, advise you in a sense. And once they start to advise you, they start to understand their true position, where they are truly standing.
And it does really work, because then they really go and think, and they're like, yes, you're right, and you're. But I think the most challenging part is that, like you said, you don't push them. You you make them think. You put it
Mm-hmm.
there, and
That's it.
that's where then they come back and they say to you,
Yeah.
is this is not what I want. Because if you push them, they're going to stay in it more.
Mm-hmm. That's
So you
right.
have to like really like go with them with, okay, I understand, I don't judge you and all that, and I'm giving out too much information here.
I mean, as well as that, what was I gonna say? As well as that, when you're a coach as well and someone approaches you, it can take time to get to the real truth because they
Mm,
approach you for one reason, but
mm,
because they're shy, because they're intimidated, because they're scared to open up all these feelings, they give you part of the truth or part of the reason or part of the situation. So also it depends on who you're dealing with, how soon or how much detail you can get about the solution, or to even get to the diagnostic of what is the situation, what is the problem, what is the cause, and how we're going to find a result.
yes, that makes sense, because I've lived through a toxic relationship, and I know that while I was in it, I had multiple reasons to justify why I was in it to myself. I'm not
Yeah.
talking with anybody. And I would always reason with myself that I'm going to stay because A,
Mm-hmm.
B, C, D. And when I would speak to somebody that this happens, and they'll say, why are you even with this person? And I had to quickly cover up. No, 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 no. But you see, this person
Yeah.
does this and this person do. But that's just one. So I know that how the cycle works, and I know, because for me, how I broke it for me was that I stopped focusing on that person, and I started to focus on myself. and see
Yeah.
why I was doing that to myself. What was the
Yeah.
reason that I was allowing somebody to abuse me
Mm-hmm.
verbally? Why?
Yeah.
Like, and the thing that I asked myself was, if it was happening to somebody else and I'm going advocating it all the time to all my other friends, but when it comes to me, I have tons of reasons why I need to stay here.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
kids and I have this and I have that. So it was
Yeah.
really an eye opener for me, which I talk about all the time, is become more self-aware, so you know
Mm-hmm.
you why you're doing a certain thing. And we get so focused on the other side, that which
Yeah.
is wrong. I think the more you focus on yourself and your inside, the more quickly you will come to better solutions for
Yeah.
why you in there.
Yeah. That's right. And a lot of people don't know how to
Yeah.
focus on themselves. A
Mm.
lot of people think focusing on myself is selfish. Someone is very into themselves or very arrogant if they focus on themselves. No, there's a way to focus on yourself and still be respected. But then at
Mm.
some point, sometime for some people, you just gotta forget everybody else and focus on yourself because you've neglected yourself so
Yes.
much. You don't know who you are, and now you're in
Mm.
an identity crisis. You need to go and
Mm.
assess who you are, what you're about. What do I like? What do I dislike?
Mm.
Where do I want to
Mm.
go? You know.
Mm.
So it's again, it's learning and understanding ways of focusing on yourself or what to look for
Mm.
as well.
And it
But
can be
even
scary also.
yeah, very scary because there are gonna be
Mm-hmm.
some harsh truths that you're gonna need to face, or some
Mm.
lies that you told yourself, or
Mm.
going back to the past and why did I do that? Why did I say this? Why didn't I do that? So that's gonna hit you hard sometimes as well. But
Mm-hmm.
it's necessary. It's needed.
Yeah.
For some people, I've met some clients that they want a serious relationship, but at the same time they don't want to be cheated on. And I said, look, this fear that you have is probably going to be the reason why you get cheated on. Because
Mm.
when you go into a relationship half-hearted and you're only given half of the energy, then someone is going to feel like, well, this is not worth it, and anything could happen. You know what I mean? So, and I said to some people as well, sometimes a heartbreak can teach you everything you need to know for the rest of your life.
Mm. True.
Sometimes going broke and bankrupt can teach you everything you need to know for the rest of your life.
Mm.
Sometimes making that drastic change one time, taking that risk one time, could change the whole direction of your life for the better.
Mm. So true.
So if you
So.
don't know what's on the other side, don't fear it.
Mm. That's so true. Because I think it's like what you project here is what you're going to project outside as well. So if you're fearful, it's going to go out, and that's what you're going to receive as well. So if you
Yeah,
go, being vulnerable is the key. You go out, like somebody's out of a toxic relationship, is scared to put themselves out.
yeah,
When they are ready to put themselves out, they need to be more vulnerable, more open, and not be
yeah.
fearful, because I think that's when they're going to attract the right kind of person for themselves, the right
That's right.
energy and all that, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And we need the experience. We need the experience. We need the
Yes.
emotional experience. And I've always said it's better sooner than later.
Mm.
While you're, I don't want to say young per se, but while you're inexperienced, it's better to get the experience as soon as you can, because as you get older, as more responsibilities come your way, as you get involved in more things, a heartbreak going broke can affect so much things, and it's hard to climb out the pit of that. So the sooner you can sort of get it done, understand it, use it as a guide for you moving forward in your life, or teaching your kids, or teaching your friend, or talking to whatever, you from that lesson you can become one of the greatest mentors. And I think also that's a lot of reasons why a lot of us become coaches. We've been down that road, we've
Mm.
experienced X, Y, and Z, and we realize there's so many people that's so scared of or can't bounce back from those experiences. So we are here as a helping hand, as a guide, as a support, as a mentor, as a parent, as a guardian, to say I can get you over this bridge. It's this is not where it ends. Um, Again, in some degree, only the strong survives. You have to The sooner you can become more self-aware,
Mm,
despite your position, the faster you can grow.
mm, mm.
Self-awareness is one of the biggest platforms that you can have
Yes. Mm,
for growth.
mm. I totally agree with you. And like you said, uh, I think that the part of experiences, I think that you learn. I think I've had, I don't know if you know, but I have tons of interviews with survivors, tons of them. And it's amazing because with every survivor that came on, I learned so much from them, and I had so much to take back that it's both ways, I think, because when somebody opens up and tells you a part of their life and give you a part of their life, you learn and grow from it so much that
Yeah.
it's amazing. So this process just goes on, and I think that, like, when you say that your kids have those milestones, they hit the
Yeah.
milestone. I think that we also hit our milestones every decade, because
Yeah.
after every decade, I think, just like our body regenerates our skin and all that kind of process, I think that we our brain actually just transforms into something totally new, and we come up with
Yes.
something so new because of the experiences and everything around us, that I think it's just a process of knowing that you have to keep on growing and learning. It's not going to stop. The minute it
Yeah.
stops is when your downfall is. So I
Yeah.
think for coaches, one of the best things is that they learn so much even through their clients, and
Yeah.
they give us so much to learn and to take back, that it's really amazing. Because when I go through the videos and I listen to the conversations again and again, it's like, wow, this is something new, I didn't know about this. uh,
Mm.
Different backgrounds, different cultures, so many things that they teach you.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
really amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming forward on such a short notice and giving us such valuable advice. Uh, your final words for the audience, anything you'd like to say?
Firstly, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for having me on board. Guys, one thing I want to say is we're never going to be completely prepared for new experience. So um, just understand that it's a new experience and go with the flow and give it the best that you got. At the end of that experience is knowledge and experience that you can take into the rest of your life and make your life even more amazing. So go with the flow. Go with the
Yeah,
flow.
I like that. I like that. Thank you so much, guys. Like always, once I'm done, I will tag him. Do reach out to him. Do connect with him. He's amazing. You already learned that through this conversation. Thank you so much once again. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Love you all. Take care. You have a good
Take
one.
care. Bye.